Right, okay, so let's start this discussion. Remember that this, this should say last year. So we have here last year. So now let's start this discussion. Remember that because we're trying to absorb costs into our income statement, we create this idea of the fixed overhead absorption rate. We've discussed this. I'm sure you know how I get this. I'm going to get it right now for you in this example. So remember, fixed costs are fixed. Right, so imagine that last year, and I'm trying to get my FOIR, and remember, I'm at the beginning. The reason why we have to absorb very quickly is because we need to make sure we have an element of fixed costs in our units so that we price correctly, or we price at a markup or whatever that makes sure we cover all our fixed costs and we can break even as early as possible. So imagine that last year, I'm going to be using last year's data. I think, last year fixed overheads were 90,000 and I made 9,000 units. Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, right, that means my FOIR is 90,000 over 9,000. So that's £10 a unit. So you've created this idea that somehow that fixed costs change with volume. It's an idea, right? So you're saying per unit, I will attach £10 of fixed cost. Right, now, imagine in this year, we actually make 9,000 units. And, you have attached £10 as your FOIR to this thing. You've put £10 per unit. So your income statement, if you like, you've made 9,000. Remember, we're talking about the actual number of units. That's the issue here, right? When I'm carrying out my variance analysis. 9,000 units. I've put 9,000, 10 times 9,000 units, and I've got that. And therefore, in my income statement is showing 90,000. My income statement is showing 90,000 because I've attached £10 of this thing that I calculated in there. I made 9,000 units, I've got 90,000. And imagine that for some strange reason, I mean, not too strange, imagine it's just rent. Let's just talk about the rent of the storeroom. The rent of, or the space, or the rent of the factory, or what if you like, we'll stick with rent of the factory. And the rent of the factory is 90,000. Well, there absolutely is no variance, right? Because my income statement is showing 90,000, £10 times 9,000 units, because that's how it's gotten there. And now I have 90,000, which is what actually happened. So I will not need to adjust my income statement in any manner, shape, or form. Remember, by the way, that we're talking about costs here, right? I'm not going to have to adjust my income statement at all. So this is your first scenario. I've called it case 1, right? This is case 1. So I want you to kind of see, just be clear on what's going on here. I'm going to say that again. I've made 9,000 units at £10, if you like, and well, the standard. This is what has actually happened. It is, if you like, what actually happened, and what I expected to happen has happened. So there is absolutely no variance at all, no shifting at all on that scenario. Right. Okay, great. So I'm going to end my video on case 1 because I want to end each case on a video so you can clearly, categorically see what's going on here when I now move on to the different cases. But make sure you look at this and you can see exactly what I'm trying to do here. The first thing, I'll say that again. Really, what I've done here is weird. I've turned this into some kind of, when I know really in truth, that's not actually what happens. In truth, I just compare what I thought it would be with what actually it was. I thought it would be 90. This year it's 90. So really it's 0. There are no variances. Okay, great stuff. So that's case 1, and I will see you in the next video.